What is up, YouTube? Today I'm coming back at you with another video, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. This is a new series that I want to start trying out, something to keep my channel with new content in between my monthly pickup videos. And I sort of want to transition into doing more reviewy type stuff as well. I'll continue to do my monthly pickups, but I want some content, in the meantime as well. So, today's video is going to be some movie recommendations, and I thought, what is this a type of video that I would love to see? And I love seeing movie recommendations because I love finding about new movies that I haven't seen before and I could potentially enjoy. So my idea here is I'm going to pick a genre. I'm going to pick 4 movies from that genre and just talk about each one and why I'm recommending it. And in the comments below, I'm going to ask for genres that you would like to see recommendations from, and depending on how many people respond with certain genres, I'll pick that genre for the next recommendations video. And that's basically how, hopefully, this will work. So if you have a genre that you would like to hear recommendations from me, leave them in the comment box below, and I will, hopefully, if this video is successful enough, make another video with recommendations for that genre. Alright, so today's genre, like I said, is anime. So, why did I pick anime as the first, especially because it's sort of a divisive category? The reason why is just that. It is a category that has a very small niche, and what better way to help somebody who might be potentially interested in exploring anime movies, this is strictly movies only, what better way to help them get into it than giving them good recommendations? And as somebody who has watched anime since I was in high school, I feel like I am pretty qualified in giving these recommendations, and I own quite a bit of anime on Blu-ray. So, alright, so I have 4 different options here. Some of them are more well-known, because those are more for the people that have never watched anything, and then I've got some more obscure ones for those of you who may have already started watching anime movies and just looking for something new. But all of these are personal picks of mine that I find that are really enjoyable and are highly rewatchable, because those are 2 things that I think are critical in an anime movie. Anime TV shows, I'm more willing to do a 1 through and never watch it again. But for movies, I like to have something that's rewatchable. Alright, so the first one is the most well-known, probably one of the most famous anime movies out there, but I wanted to add this one, just because it is a personal favorite of mine as well, and that is Princess Mononoke. So, a lot of people that are collectors, they tend not to watch Japanese animation, or oftentimes if they do watch Japanese animation, sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, I like Disney, Disney's really good, but and Studio Ghibli is okay too, but I don't watch any other anime. So that's one reason why I'm picking this as a first one, because some people just really like Studio Ghibli movies because they kind of have that sort of Disney feel to them, even though they're made in Japan. And that's one really nice thing about Studio Ghibli. All of their movies are really, really good, high production values, very Disney-esque stories in one way or another. Some are darker, some are lighter, just have a wide variety of content that is all very high quality animation, voice acting, and they're just all really great stories. And so Studio Ghibli is very, very popular for that reason. Now, does that mean Studio Ghibli is the only one out there with high quality Japanese animation? By no means. There's a wide variety of really high quality studios out there, but they tend to fall under the radar because they fall into that sort of echo chamber of the only good anime movies are Studio Ghibli. Anime in general sort of gets overlooked a lot by most collectors. But if you're looking to get started, I think Studio Ghibli is a great place to start, and Princess Mononoke is a personal favorite of mine from their collection. And this is basically a story about, it's really hard to put into words because they've got a lot of underlying themes here, but it starts off and it's a journey about this prince that gets infected with by this demon, and it's his quest to potentially cure himself of this curse, but stuff happens along the way, and the story evolves to a more parable about nature versus man. And it's just a really interesting story, and the ending is beautiful, and the entire movie has a lot of really great metaphors for man versus nature. And I think the soundtrack's also really fantastic in this movie. It is one of the best things about Studio Ghibli is they always use the same pool of artists in terms of the composer, the actual hand-drawn artists, and the story and the writers. They're all the same group of people, so you're going to have that same consistent quality, which is a really fantastic thing about these movies. But this is obviously a more, I wouldn't say medieval fantasy movie. It is definitely got those sort of, it's set in feudal Japan, sort of towards the turn of the gunpowder era, so you kind of have that sort of environment. And I'll try not to spoil anything else, but really great beginner anime movie to check out. Alright, so I'm kind of going by popularity here. So the next, we're going most popular to least popular. Or not really popularity, but more well-known, I should say. The next one got quite a bit of press, amongst the anime community at least. I know this didn't really break a lot of ground outside of the anime community. Like the Studio Ghibli movies are more well-known outside of the anime community. This one was very well-known in the anime community. I know a lot of people that don't watch anime that have never even heard of this. But this is an absolutely fantastic anime movie, and that is Your Name. Your Name is probably one of the best anime anything that I've ever seen. I am very I have a list online of anime shows that I've watched and stuff, and I rank every single one. And when I do so, I try to be very strict on my rating system. I don't like how many people rate anime in terms of a lot of times when you look at other people's lists, most of their anime ratings hover around 7 or an 8, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because that means your averages are 7 and 8, and they're not. It's hard to get a good scale. I try to keep my averages at 3. So most of my anime I rate are 3, 3.5. And because of that I have a sort of a bell curve going, which means I have very few 5s and very few 1s. This is one of I think I have 11 anime, and I've seen 100 something, and this is one of the 5s. So this is one of the very few that I would give a 5 out of 5. And it is a fantastic story. It is incredibly beautiful animation, very smooth. This is more of a digital drawn style. Princess Mononoke is an old school hand-drawn, sort of akin to the early Disney stuff. This is more of a more modern take, but it has a wonderful story. This is a romantic story about two people who find out that they are waking up in each other's bodies back and forth. And basically it's about the impact on each of these characters have on the other's life when they switch bodies with them. Their positive impacts and potentially some of their negative impacts. But it is a wonderful story. I can't tell you too much about it because there is some huge spoilers in this that will ruin the experience for you. But it is incredibly well done. The soundtrack is pretty good. It's not super memorable like a lot of the Studio Ghibli stuff is, but it definitely has a good soundtrack that gives you a good atmosphere while watching this movie. Now, I do believe that this does have an English dub. So all Studio Ghibli stuff has English dubs. This has an English dub as well. I did not watch it, so I don't know how good it is, but one of the things you have to look out for in anime movies is dubbing. Some don't have dubs, some don't have dubs in English, some do have dubs in English. And the English dubs kind of vary in quality quite a lot because the budget for these translations from Japan are not always the highest. This I'm pretty sure has a really, if I recall reading reviews about it, I'm pretty sure it has a really good English dub. I personally have not watched it, but I did watch the Japanese dub, so, and it comes with both. But yeah, that's basically everything about that movie that I can really say without spoiling too much. It's a body swapping anime about the positive impacts and on each other's lives, and sort of the relationship that they create through a body swap, which is quite unique, I will say. All right. The next one that I picked up is a pretty good movie. I mean, it is actually a really good movie. I don't know why I said that, but it's a good movie. It's just not super well recognized in the anime community, and definitely on no one's radar outside of the anime community. For some reason, I don't know, that I'm not sure about, this did not get a whole lot of fanfare when it came out, but this is a fantastic anime, and that is Makoi When the Promised Flower Blooms. This came out fairly recently, and so it's a newer anime, the same digital art style. I believe this has a English release dub on here. I think the English dub on this is okay. It's not bad. It's honestly not a bad dub. I think it's serviceable for those of you who don't want to watch it in Japanese. However, I think the Japanese dub in this is definitely superior. I prefer the English dub on the Studio Ghibli stuff, but for this, I definitely prefer the Japanese dub. Now, what is this? This is basically it's a fantasy story about this clan of humanoids that have extremely long lives, and they have very youthful appearances. And because of that, the realm of humans travel to them and basically destroy their entire society and capture some of these peoples to hopefully gain the power of their youthfulness and their longevity. Now, this is a interesting anime because it explores a very long story. There are quite a number of time jumps in here because of the long lifespan of the characters themselves. So the pacing of this movie is quite fast. However, I think it is really well done. It spends just enough time that you need in each scene to warrant the jumps in time. And it doesn't really feel disjointed like a lot of time jumps in movies can feel, but because it really focuses on two main characters, which is Makoi and her son Ariel. And it's a really, really cool fantasy world. It does a good job of basically explaining shortly the politics of the world and some of the different beliefs and some where each of the aspects, each the antagonists and the protagonists are coming from in this story. Now, like I said, this is basically a movie about this long-living race of beings, and Makoi is sort of the main focus to the movie. Her son is an adopted son that is human, and so it's basically the story of both of them throughout their lives and their effect on the world. And it's a really moving experience. I think it's incredibly well done. The soundtrack is amazing in this. The animation is really beautiful as well, and I think that this is extremely underappreciated, even in the anime community itself. It didn't get a wide release at all. This was distributed by 11 Arts, which is not a huge studio, but in combination with Shout Factory, apparently. But if you're a fan of anime, definitely check this one out. If you're new to anime, I think this is a pretty good one to start with as well. The English dub's not as strong as the other two, but this I think is worth watching even if the English dub is only average. If you really want to dive into the subtitles, the Japanese dub is absolutely fantastic for this movie. Alright, the last movie that I have here is a little beat up, unfortunately, thanks Amazon, but it is an incredible movie, and that is Hal. So, Hal is another romance. A lot of really good romance anime come in the form of movies, but this is an absolutely fantastic romance anime. It's about these two characters. One is suffering from depression because her boyfriend died in a plane crash, and Hal is, Hal is an artificial intelligence that was created to help her with her depression. And it's basically a story about Hal getting her to become back to civilization because she's become basically a hermit, and the story of their relationship and as it grows from him getting her to take those first steps out into civilization and basically seeing her personality grow and the story of their relationship bloom. It takes place in the near future, not super far, but there are quite a good number of twists in this anime, and it goes into the backstory of each of these characters heavily in depth. This is a slower paced movie. There's not really any action in it. It's a romantic drama, and it's just really well done. Music, not super memorable, but very atmospheric, so it's pretty good. Animation's really good as well. Maybe not so good as some of the others like Your Name or Makoi, but it still has a really nice style and is really nice to look at. The English dub on this, I absolutely have no idea how good it is. I watched this in Japanese as well, but the dub is done by Funimation, so Funimation's a really good distributor to check out if you're getting into anime, because they are pretty well known for their average to good dubs. They always have very solid English dubs, because they have an in-studio voice acting cast that they use a lot of the time that have really good talent. So it's got a pretty good English dub, I'm assuming, and the Japanese dub is also really, really good. So it's a great story. Definitely recommend this one if you're a fan of romance. If you like near future stuff, this is another really great one to check out. But like I said, not a lot of action in this one, so if you're a fan of like more action-y stuff, I'd probably stick to something more like Princess Mononoke or Makoi, because those have quite a bit more action in them. But that is everything that I have in terms of recommendations. Let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. What do you guys think of these movies? Have you seen any of them? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment box below what genre you would like to see movie recommendations next. It doesn't only have to be anime. I will do recommendations from any genre, from westerns to thrillers to horror or fantasy, sci-fi, whatever. Let me know in the box below what recommendations you would like. If you have any recommendations for me, let me know in the comment box below. I'm always happy to hear recommendations. I normally check out the movies you guys recommend. If you just have any comments about these movies, let me know. I'm happy to talk about them. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.